And we are live. Welcome, brothers, to another show. Today is June 3rd, 2021, and we are in the beautiful city of Medellin, Colombia. Now, today we're going to have a few travel updates and travel news for you guys. We got a lot of good news, we got some bad news, and unfortunately, we got some ugly news, but we're going to get into it. First and foremost, I want to thank all the returning members to the Blackmentravels Facebook group. As some of you might already know, the Facebook group was disabled by Facebook a few days ago. We had reached almost about 8,000 members. Currently, right now, we're closing in on 1,000 members on the new Facebook group, Blackmentravels 2.0. Now, it is a slight possibility that the group will be back because what they banned us for was not following their community standards, but the particular post, it did not have any nudity. It did not have any sexual activity within the post. It was specifically a post about stocks. So for the time being, we do have Blackmentravels 2.0. And I want to thank you guys, man, for rejoining the group. You know, I know we got some members that's live or active, very active every day, and a lot of them want to know what's going on. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard the news by now. But if you haven't, and if you have some friends that's in the group as well, please let them know that, hey, it's still, the movement won't be stopped. It's Blackmentravels 2.0 for right now. Let me go ahead and holler at the chat, and we're going to go get them moving. Shout out to my brother Tapatuan. Shout out to Tapatuan, man. I ran to Tapatuan out there in the DR. Shout out to him. He's one of the first guys that put me on game about traveling abroad, man. So shout out to my brother Tapatuan. We got Charles Jones in the building. He says, good afternoon at Blackmentravels. Good afternoon to you, brother. Hope all is well. We got Steve Veronette. He says, what's up, Aaron? What's going on, brother? I know some of you cats are got some of that AMC. So I know you guys are feeling this, should be in a good mood if you did catch that move. You know, it's really funny, man, because, you know, you had 8,000 brothers, black men in that particular group. And I have spoken to a person. I can't really put too much information about this out here right now. But I have spoken to a person who's close to the matter of what's going on. And it's funny because you have these community rules and then you have these sub rules that are not really in the forefront. And when you have 8,000 black men talking about traveling, talking about getting their passports, talking about investing in stocks and crypto, some would deem that as a problem. Some would even deem that as a threat. So because of that, we are building a platform on the blackmentravels.com website where we really can connect and without any boundaries or any limitations, brothers being able to network, because your network is your net worth. You know, I know a lot of you brothers know this already, but it's important for black men to be able to have conversations amongst each other, right, for the specific problems that are, you know, geared towards targeting black men. We have a lot going on. So it's good for black men to be able to share information with each other. So that being said, we are currently working on the social plug-in to the blackmentravels.com website, which will eventually morph into a mobile app for us, man. And that mobile app is going to be a must for you guys, especially if you guys are traveling the world. Once again, shout out to the chat. We got 40 in the room. We're going to get the flowing in just a good minute. Yeah, I just mentioned that, Zay. He says, what's good, Aaron? You seen that AMC? Yes, I did, man. And you know what? We had a guy in the group, shout out to Bank Seafood, man. He was putting brothers on that AMC early on. I'm talking about super early on. And I know a lot of brothers was able to jump onto that. You know, you got some brothers out here that, you know, they play that stock world pretty hard. You got brothers that's involved in crypto, brothers that involved in stocks. You got brothers that do a little bit of both, like myself. And right now, man, it looks like things are trending back up. It's funny because if you really look at the rotation of how they do the media, it's always going to be damaging news, which is going to push the prices down, which means the big heads, you know, the sharks going to jump on it. And then you start to get good news, right? And that's when it's going to start to trickle back up. So right now, if you look at all the stocks, you look at some of the cryptos, it looks like everything is starting to trickle back up. Shout out to KJ. He says AMC was up. Jesus Christ, 3,000 was up 3,000 year to date. So, fellas, like I said before, once again, I want to give a special shout out to a brother in the group, brother by the name of Pete. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, brother. Good brother. He's been out here in Medellin for some time now. He's been able to show me the ropes, really put me on game. Did a video for him when DJ Hookie came out here. So shout out to that brother. Happy birthday to him, man. Happy birthday to that brother. Now, we got 37 in the room. Fellas, when you come in the room, do your favor. Hit that like button for your bro. I would really appreciate that. So we're going to go over some of the good news. I know it's only 36 right now, but we're going to go ahead and put that out there. We got some major good news for people that are traveling to Colombia. Right now, currently, they got rid of the 96-hour PCR test, all right? So no longer do you need the PCR test to visit the Colombia. You can just pull up. You don't have to worry about no paperwork, anything like that. Not only that, you don't have to have the migration check-in on the app as well. The migration app is basically, because it really didn't work, honestly speaking, because if you registered one time before, you wouldn't be able to register again. So what that means is, say you was coming back to Colombia within a few months, you wouldn't be able to register again anyway. So there's a lot of problems with that. But now you don't need to do that as well. The immigration app was basically saying that you haven't been in contact with COVID, you haven't been in isolation for 14 days, you don't have COVID, yada, 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 right? So you don't need that as well. So right now you can just pull up on Colombia. And on top of that is June 3rd, June 8th, which I believe is next Tuesday, because the Mayweather fight is on the 6th. June 8th, and we're going to cover that Mayweather fight as well. I want your guys' opinion on that Mayweather fight. June 8th is no restrictions in Medellin. No curfews, no toque de queda, nothing. You'll be able to just party, do your thing, come out here. So if you do have a trip, or you plan on coming out here soon, do it after June 8th. Don't come June 6th and be like, oh man, no, come after June 8th where there's no restrictions, no curfews, no toque de queda. All right. So that's some of the great news that's going on right now. Everybody is excited. Next week is going to be off the chain. I'm telling you guys, because in the Parque Yeres, Parque Poblado, La 70, it's going to be off the chain because don't nobody party like Colombians. I'm telling you guys that now, man. Shout out to Ray Hanna. He says, salute at Blackmentravels. Salute to you, brother. We got J.M. Ramiro in the room. He says AMC was $3 when the pandemic began last year, but now it's going down. I don't think it's a good time to buy anymore. Okay, brother. We got Ray Hanna in the building. He says, good stuff, good stuff. We got my brother MJ Hines. What's going on, MJ Hines? Hope all is well with you, brother. We got KJ. He says, I failed 2 PCR tests in April. I'm coming to Medellin next week. That's what's going on, brother. I don't know why you failed the PCR test, though, but that's what's going on. Make sure you email me, too. KJ, if you're coming out here, email me at blackmentravels@gmail.com. I get a lot of guys that I run into, and they like, hey, man, I hit you up, bro. I hit you up. I'm like, you did? Because if you're not on my friend list, on my regular Facebook page, it goes to a whole nother area that I don't really check like that. And so now I see a whole tons of messages there. I'm like, damn, I didn't even see these messages. So the best way to contact me, to link up, and then you want to grab a shirt, you want to chop it up about some business, is blackmentravels@gmail.com. Now, for those who just got into the room, the good news is you do not need a PCR test to enter Colombia. You do not have to have a migration check app. No, you don't need none of that to enter Colombia currently right now. They got rid of that. So that's the good news. Also, there's no toque de queda. There's no curfew after June 8th. So Colombia is going to be wide open, man. It's going to be wide open. And it could not have come better. It could not have come at a better time. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. We got Leroy Green. He puts the airplane. I guess he's on his way. KJ in the building again. Oh, you know what? I did. Okay, KJ, I must have missed that email. Do you have make quarantine or test at the app? Do they make you quarantine or test at the airport? No, they don't. Right now, it's over with, brothers. It's over with. It's a little bright in here. Put that right there. There we go. Now we flowing. All right. So no, brother, they do not make you quarantine at the airport. All right, guys. Let me go here real quick. Let me get this flowing. So that's very good news. Like I said before, brothers, it couldn't come at a better time right now because there is still a lot of tension, and I'm gonna go over that in a second as we get a few more people to come on in the room. Once again, brothers, join the Blackmentravels 2.0 page. The main group was shut down, so that's where we congregating at right now. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. So, as some of you guys already know, unfortunately, there have still been, I'm not going to say unfortunately, but they still have protests going on in Colombia. And some of these protests are pretty strategic. Now, if you come into the Medellin, Poblado area where most of the tourists come at, you're not going to really have any issues. They don't have any roads blocked. There's no protests going on here, but around the country and around Medellin, they do have protests going on. The issue is that they're strategically, the protesters, are organized, right? I believe it's called the front line in Espanol, or the first line, something like that. They're blocking like major roads to, ports and stuff like that. So you want to be mindful of that if you decide you want to explore the country. Because like I had some friends that want to go on a road trip yesterday, and they found out that one of the roads were blocked. They had to cancel their road trip. So if you want to move around the country, this might not be the best time if you want to, explore. I'm talking about specifically on the road. Now, if you're flying to Cartagena or you're flying to, somewhere else, you should be okay. But if you want to do some road trips, you want to go to Guadalupe, which is kind of like a road trip, you might want to be careful with that. I'm pretty sure you should be okay. The protesters aren't targeting tourists or anything like that. You just don't want to be caught up in the crossfire. Vice did a pretty detailed video about what's going on in the protests right now, so you can research that. The majority of the protests are in Cali, Colombia, and in Bogota. They do have protests downtown in Medellin. It was a major protest scheduled for yesterday, and you could tell, but the park area was still pretty nice. I didn't see any issues with it. So you just want to be mindful of that. Because they do have the protests were started with the tax increase. The president said he was not doing the tax increase, but currently, they're basically protesting for inequalities and lack of opportunity. This was coming from a friend of mine that's from Cali, Colombia, Afro-Latina friend of mine who comes from Cali. She just said they're protesting because in America you have certain things that the government would do for you, certain benefits, housing benefits, Section 8. Now, black men don't get that, but she's talking about, the women. And you have educational opportunities that, people in Colombia just don't have. It's a big inequality gap because it's a lack of opportunities, unfortunately. And it's like a, big have and have nots. And the people just want more economic opportunities, and I totally understand that, man. So you have to be mindful of that if you do decide to come to Colombia. The reason I gave you that news is because I want to be very transparent. I don't want you to come out here and be like, damn, man, I came out here and I can't even do anything. But if you're coming out here to the Pacific Poblado area, you should be okay with the protests. All right? We here heavy right now. We got 52 in the room. Let me get to some of the comments. My brother Ja Spinez says, thanks, brother. I'm checking flights now. All right. Brother Cajun says, I like El Centro day game over Poblado. Best bang for your buck. I'm not a big fan of Centro personally, man, but, do your thing. Do we have a central location in El Centro, like a restaurant or club, or any frequently visits? You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't really promote going to Centro like that because, things go down in Centro. I was with a cat one time that they snapped the chain right off his chest and everything. It is a police presence out there, but Centro to me is more for like the veterans who, kind of know exactly how to move. You got to get up out of there at night. I know cats that do love Centro, but I've been told by several locals, even my ex-girlfriend, like to never go to Centro if it's possible. Now to go out there to get some shirts, do some little tourists during the day, it's no issue. But, I just don't promote that because I don't want anything, happening to the brothers they out there in Centro, man. Shout out to Grow Guy. He says, salute. He says, what up, guys? Yeah, the Vice did a pretty good detailed video documentary about what's going on with the protests, man. And it's really sad. It's very easy for African Americans to identify with what's going on in Colombia. I think African Americans kind of can understand it more than, let's say, maybe European Americans. In my opinion, but everybody protests. Don't get me wrong, but we are recently protesting, and we still protesting in America for racism and inequalities and stuff like that. So we understand their plight a whole lot more, because it is very unfortunate. And I'm not going to really get into the details, but if you watch the Vice documentary, you will see that what's going on with the police and everything like that. It's a very hurtful situation, and a very unfortunate situation. All right. We got MJ Hines say I don't frequent El Centro. We got Delano Music in the building. We got Global Paper, Brazil or Die. What's going on, Global Paper? How you doing, brother? Okay, hold on. Let me read this comment by KJ. He says, I lived in El Centro 3 weeks. I heard a lot of screams at night. I've seen a lot of violence from my high-rise window. Police kick ass and leave El Centro by midnight. Yeah, I got a funny story about El Centro, and I got a few funny stories about El Centro, bro. A few funny stories. One of the stories is I went down there to holler at one of my guys. He was down there late, and I was like, brother, you shouldn't be down there that late. He's a member of the group. And I was like, man, I'm gonna come out there, and I'm gonna get you. And we're gonna come back to Poblado or whatnot. He said, nah, man, yeah, come out here, everything good. I'm here. We go out there, and we walking around El Centro. It's nighttime. Everybody's in the streets. I got my phone. It's some guys basically doing the friendly shakedown, the friendly tourist shakedown. Hey, man, I'm going to protect you. You need protection out here if you're going to be moving around at night. Now, do you want to be in an area where you need protection? I don't think so. And this is what he's telling me on the phone. So I'm like, what? You got protection? I'm like, oh, hold on, man. I'm going to come out there and holler at you, man. So I went out there. I got my phone in the hand. This is the type of stuff they do in El Centro. I got my phone in my hand, my hands like this. The guys are walking so close to me that I kind of pulled my phone up, because when I was in the DR one time, somebody did a snatch and run of me. So I'm like, okay, don't have my phone. Let me have my phone up here. And a female was like, I took a photo. And I'm sitting here like, what? She's like, photo. That's the little game they run. I'm like, man, whatever. So you walk into this little space to get something to eat, this little cafe. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to say about 8 to 10 Venezuelans. I've told this story before, but 8 to 10 Venezuelans, that they kind of swarm on me. And the guy I went down there for literally disappeared. He said he was in the back, just in case they jump, he could hit him from the back, but I didn't see him. So this type of situations you talk about in El Centro, they look at tourists, they target tourists. I don't feel like being targeted, man. And the police presence is too far away. You'll see them on the way down, but they kind of tend to let people do what they do out there in El Centro. The second occasion out El Centro is a bunch of us, we was rolling out deep, might have been 5-6 deep. And my guy from France, another Afro brother, he's in France. It's getting dark. I see he's been living out here for some years. He's like, man, we got to go. We got to leave these cats. I'm like, what you mean? He was like, man, these white people we with going to get us robbed. And I'm like, damn, for real? So he's trying to low-key leave the white guys that was with us. He was like, man, they're going to get us robbed out here. And at first I thought he was tripping. I'm like, come on, man, we like 8-10 deep. But then I started looking around, and unfortunately, you do see more eyes on you if you are of Euro descent, because they don't really know where we from when you black. We blend in, especially in El Centro. They might know by our clothes and by our size, because we're pretty big people in comparison to Colombians. But I'm telling you, like I told you before, the Colombians and the Venezuelans, since it's black Venezuelans, since they identify with this hip hop and the struggle, and they kind of know, and it's the news in America, they're going to kind of leave you alone if you're not stunting. Now, they will rob your ass. And I'm going to get to the ugly part of this conversation too in a second. but you really blend in. They really tend to leave you alone, man, because it's like how you gonna rob the cool guys. You know what I'm saying? Let me get to a little bit more of the chat. We got Global Paper in the building once again. Now, unfortunately, guys, I got a video that I'm going to show you, and I know I'm beating a dead drum here, and I know for the most part, most of you guys already know this. You know, hopefully you guys listen to me, but there has been an uptake of robberies in the Poblado area. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you a video. So just let you know this is what's going on, and this is in one of the nicest areas in Colombia, bro. It's in the nicest area in the nicest club. I'm gonna show you the video first, and I'm gonna tell you the backstory behind the video. Unfortunately, the guy who did get robbed is not in the Facebook group, but what his friend is, and his friend was trying to relay him, you know, how to move out here in Colombia, and I guess he didn't pay attention or he just took it lightly. You know, you got guys that feel like it never happened to me. I was with a guy yesterday. He was like, "Man, I'm a bucket if they rob me," and I'm like, "Bro, stop with the He-Man shit." You know what I'm saying? It takes a microsecond to pull a trigger, and when people are doing the robbery, all right, you know, and this is coming from a family bloodline full of robbers and killers, they adrenaline is up. You feel me? They see in red. It's like about to fight. Their testosterone is up. You come and collect first, so they have to jump on you right off the rip. So keep that in mind. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the video. It's no, shout out to Sister Lou. He says IP man dreams. There's no audio in the video, brothers. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Let me see here and pull this on up. Let me get rid of this real quick so you guys can see it. All right, guys, here we go. Blackmentravels 2.0. We had 942 members. That's what's up. We're getting there. All right, this is the post. Shout out to my brother Jay Ross. He says, "Brothers in Medellin, be careful. One of my good friends who frequents there with me was robbed, and we are sure it was an inside job." Let me make sure you guys can see this. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, let me see. Yeah, you guys can see it. Matter of fact, give me a second first. Let me make that a little bigger if I can. All right. He said he takes all his dates there because it's close to his apartment. This is in Provenza, fellas. He says, watch the video and you will see the thieves went straight to him and took his expensive watch. His expensive watch. He had a Rolex on, fellas. When the OGs like Aaron Farris provide us with this advice how to move, we need to listen. Now, this is the Neutron Bar. I was here yesterday. Me and my guy, we went by there for a second. Let's check it out. This is in Provenza. This is one of the nicest areas in Medellin, Colombia, bro. So this is the video. All right, let me start it. There we go. Look toward this area right here, fellas. I know it's a little dark. All right, I'm gonna play it one more time for you guys. Here's the breakdown. They come in the door right here. It's two men, of course, with the helmet, so they're on the bike. Up, they approach him, pulls out the gun, take his watch. They didn't rob anybody else, and they're gone, just like that. Hop in the motor concho and left. All right. Let me go ahead and get back to this. All right. So he was safe. It was in the nicest area. You know, he had his Rolex on. Somebody, probably maybe one of the girls, identified it. Okay, it's real. It's a Rolex. And they came in there, you know, pulled up on the motor concho, walked in calmly. It was definitely an inside job. Robbed him, took his watch, left. Now he's out of a watch. Now, I said this time before, I have my little watch on, but, you know, this is not a Rolex. You know, I think people might look at it, but they're like, okay, we don't know what we're going to get for that, right? More likely, the girl set him up, you know, that he was with. It's a possibility, or somebody that works in the club might have set him up. These people out here are hungry, man. I'm telling you, bro. They're on another level. Now, this is just one robbery. The other robbery I'm going to tell you about, there's no tape. So a guy was leaving the ATM machine right in Poblado, right in the area of Parquilleras, right down the street from the area that another robbery, the video you just saw, and he was coming. They came at him with the pistol. He tried to fight him off, and they shot him. Fortunately, he didn't die, but he tried to like Citizen Lou, the IP man effect, the Superman effect, and they shot him. These guys don't want to shoot you. I'll let you know right now, because if they shoot you, they just up their charges. And they're gonna get caught. Somebody's gonna snitch, because now you're talking about somebody getting shot. And everybody, all the businesses in that area will work, because they try to keep crime away from that area, because that's a major area right there, and it's gonna look bad if tourists get robbed out there. So the police will beat their ass right in front of you, and they're gonna beat their ass some more when they get to jail. And all the business owners are going to give the police money. All the people are going to snitch. They're going to catch the person that done this. So really, what they're trying to do is stay on their money. They hop off their mother country with their helmet, draw down on you, take whatever they got. They're going for your cell phone, your jewelry, any little petty cash that you have on you, especially if you're using the ATM machine. This is why I tell brothers, try to go to the major ATM machines in the grocery stores or something like that, or have a couple of cats with you. Yesterday, I walked to a cat. He was like, "Man, sure you got to walk with me, man." I'm like, "Yeah, bro. They out here today." Some cats just don't. I guess they just don't get it. Like, I don't know why, but they just don't understand, because maybe they didn't grow up in a certain type of environment. I know most of you brothers grew up in some tough environments, so we already know. So we already have a high sense of what's going on around us. But I see so many guys just don't pay attention to their surroundings, because they're drinking and they're looking at the women. And the hunters know this, So I look at it, guys, and I'm like, this guy, I tell brothers, "Hey, man, pay attention, bro." I say, "Bro, pay attention. I mean, do you see what's going on?" I've had girls that I know out there in parking areas be like, "Okay, nah, let's go. This is not good right here. This is not good." They looking at us, because they already know. They already know. Them guys, the motor conchos, they come up, they have a guy right here. You walking toward you, "Hey, bro, cocaine or marijuana," draw down on you, take your shit, hop on the motor concho, they out. Back to the barrio. You can just pay their rent for maybe 2-3 months. All right. So those are 2 robberies right there. And it was another robbery right in front of the energy building, bro. The nicest building in Poblado. Another robbery for jewelry. The guy didn't want to. He didn't want to say anything. But he told a few cats out of the hostel, "Hey, man, I just got robbed outside the energy building." Once again, cell phone, jewelry, and they just did this a month ago. So you got to be very low key. Now you got guys that's been out here 2-3 years, have not ever got robbed. What we all have in common? We all dress down. We just dress down, bro. Like, you just. Listen, as soon as you open up your mouth, all right, if you in shape and you speak at least enough Spanish to communicate with these women, that's all you need. What's more impressive out here is being in shape, being from somewhere else. You're the foreign guy, you're the American guy, especially outside the Blotto is even stronger. But you do not have to peacock out here, brothers. You don't. You already the prize, okay? You already, American, you're from somewhere else. Americans are looked at like, educated with money. If you speak the Spanish, it's going to go much farther. And I'm going to say this. If you have a woman, you can give her a test if you want. This is one of them tests. Let you know what type of female you got. If you show her some jewelry or something, or she knows, and she does not tell you to not wear it, if she just like, oh, go with the flow, she sees you out there with jewelry on, that lets you know that she ain't the one, bro. Because a woman that likes you will let you know immediately, don't wear any jewelry in South America, period. Because you're American, even if it's fake, they're gonna assume that it's real because you're American. All right. Got a super chat here. Hold on. Shout out to my brother for the $5 super chat at Kirby P Films. I think I've seen your page, brother, or I follow you on Instagram. I think I've seen you though, man. If you're in films, definitely email me. He says, "What up, BMT? My job shut down my Labor Day vacation to the sewer. So BMT, enjoy. Oh, once again, shout out to all the BMT members and all my guys in Sasua. I know you guys had a great time on Memorial Day weekend. All right. Shout out to the Rubber Band Man for the $5 super chat. We got 83 in the room. Fellas, hit that like button when you come in. He says, please don't tell me Pookie and Riri are coming to Colombia and why are black men forcing down there? It's dumb. The military taught us to dress down. Brother, I listen, you know, I'm beating the dead horse here, you know what I'm saying? But I still want to give you guys information because, shout out to my brothers who own bars and clubs out here. We had these conversations. I know a lot of DJs are like, they get all the news. So I get all the news almost immediately as it happened. A lot of people stay in hostels. So, these conversations are being had. Like I said before, if you out, man, they're going to assume that you have an expensive phone. Don't be on your phone like this. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to say this, but, I don't like to see brothers getting robbed, man, So I'm going to keep on to stay on it, even though, some brothers still going to get their ass robbed. Brothers feel like they have to. I don't know why. You saw that the brother thought he was safe. He was in one of the nicest clubs in Provenza. Like the Neutron Bar is a pretty popular bar out here. Like it has a line outside, and we went there yesterday. It was back to business. Like, oh well, they're not concerned about your belongings in your jewelry. Also, man, standing outside these buildings, kind of just man, you got to keep it moving out here. Like, I don't do like when guys try to have conversations with me, like we'll talk for a little minute, but we got to keep it moving. I'm like, yo, sit and duck, get plucked, bro. And you should have learned that from living in the inner city in America. In Atlanta, truth be told, was a pretty dangerous city in the 80s and the 90s growing up, man. I was in a pretty dangerous area. And, you got to apply these same rules to overseas, man, because it's they're in that zone where they're still doing a lot of petty robberies and a lot of petty crimes, man. So you have to kick in and keep in mind hundreds of thousands of maybe even millions of people come out here and don't have any issues whatsoever. People live out here. They never get robbed. You just got to move a certain way in the States as well. Just in general, man, just try to blend in, dress down. Don't be the only cat. You should know if you're the only person in the bar drinking champagne with a Rolex watch on. You think you would know that, right? Even if it's just a small, only a few people in there, you got to realize that the watch you have on your wrist, is probably more than what people make in 5 months out here, bro. The minimum for a Rolex is like what, $10,000 if I'm not mistaken. The woman identified that it's real. These women got street sense. Hey, he's here. Roll. They might even be into it with the police. Who knows? 10 bands spread. It's a lot of money in South America, brothers. It's a lot of money, especially with the exchange rate right now. Pookie and Ray Ray. But I don't see a lot of Pookie and Ray Rays out here. All right, shout out to Jay Clyde, man. He said, Salute 100. My old lady down there told me to not even wear my snakeskin Jordans there when she saw them. That's another thing, man. I was in the shout out to Jay Clyde. I was in the park one day and a dude was kind of harassing me for some bread. And I'm like, bro, I don't have, no tango dinero. Like, bro, I don't have anything right now. I don't have no money right now. And he's like, you do got money. Look at your shoes. He just pointed at him. Your shoes. And I'm sitting here like, okay, no more wearing the Jordans. I still kind of rock my Jordans. I had them on last night. But like I say, I keep it moving. And I have a familiar face in that area now. So people kind of know, they're like, okay, this cat live here. So they don't even really harass me no more. You know what I'm saying? They harass the guys that's with me. They kind of leave me alone because, I give them a little bread once a month, just to, I talk to some of the little kids from the barrio and shit. They know me. Shout out to my DJ Jay Brown. He knows a lot of people. So when you're around people that live here for a while, they say, "Oh, okay, yeah, we know, we'll get something from you every now and then, but we know we ain't gonna harass you." It's just a tad bit different. They don't tend to target you as much. Jay, and remember, yeah, brother, it's okay to wear basketball, football jerseys, all that. The clothes, they're not robbing you for clothes, pretty much. They used to rob people for clothes. Starter jackets. I remember where my 80s and my 90s guys at? Where my 80s and my 90s guys at? All right. And what city you was from where they robbed you for starter jackets? I know in Atlanta in the 90s, I say between 93 and 96, they were robbing cats for the starter jackets. JX says, but getting robbed inside a nice bar is different. Yeah, one of the nicer bars. Like, it's going to be packed out there. It was my first time actually going to that bar. I go to another bar outside. Damn, I think what's the name of that bar? I can't. It slips my mind right now. But I'm cool with the owners. One of the owners are from New York. Cool cat. So I kind of stay in that little general area in Provenza, and the police are always right there. But yeah, that's a Neutron Bar is a very nice bar, man. And they ran in there, got on. Shout out to my brother Travis Tough. He said, I remember that era. Yeah, the 80s and 90s, man. They was robbing cats for clothes. They was robbing cats for Jordans. I don't know, maybe not so much now, but that's where we at in South America. We are in the 80s and 90s, okay? They will rob you for anything out here, bro. Shout out to my brother Joe Cabin. He says, playing devil's advocate again, is it better to get robbed at home than abroad or than abroad? Man, I think I'd rather get robbed my ass at home, honestly speaking. Hey, I remember when I got robbed, and then it was one of my homeboys that had robbed me. And, you know, he called me on the phone. Man, I knew that was you, Ferris. Well, he used to call me A1 back then. A1, bro, you know I never robbed you, bro. I'd be like, yeah, man, how you gonna rob me, dog? You know, he's like, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm like, can I get my stuff back? Nah, bro, I can't get your stuff back, though. I'm like, damn, T. I'm like, and then you see him, and then we all grown now, so we laugh about it. You know, every time you see me, he give me drinks. He really didn't steal anything from me. He stole from the company I was working for. I was working for Miller Lite, and we used to deliver alcohol. And he basically robbed the truck, you know. He has a little mask on. I think the nigga has some tape over his face. And I kind of knew who it was, but, you know, they weren't even pointing a really gun at me. My homeboy was just shook, scared to death. I think he almost pissed on his pants. But I was just like, I ain't say his name, because I'm like, man, is that your man? And, you know, I'm sitting here like, I'm like, bro, you know, he's like, so, you know, like I say, when you got that adrenaline rushing, he just in there, in and out. They stole some beers. And he was like, man, I didn't know that was you, bro. You look different. This, that, and the other. I ain't seen you in a while. I'm like, yeah, man. Well, can we get the cash back? Because, you know, they robbed us from a little cash, too. So that was all insured with the company. So I'm like, yo, you know, can I get some of the cash you took, too? He's like, nah, nigga, nah. Okay, we got a good point. Hold on, we got a good point. Somebody just made a good comment in the group. Hold on, let me try to find that comment. Damn, who said that comment? Oh, my brother Travis Tolliver. He says, do you carry a garbage phone out on the street and the iPhone 12 back at the crib? Absolutely. I only take out my iPhone if I know I'm doing some type of photography during the day. You know, maybe I got some guys coming down from the group. You want to take some photos in front of some, like the Medellin sign or something like that. That's when I only take my iPhone out, man. Other than that, I have my Android. You know, if I lose that, you know, I'm not tripping too hard. But yeah, man, most cats, I know a couple of cats that have they little burner phones on the outside, man, because it happens just that quick out here, man. Ray Hanna. Now, listen, guys. I don't want to, you know, motivate you not to come to Colombia. Colombia is one of the most beautiful cities. Medellin is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Colombia is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, with the most beautiful women you will ever see in your life that are all on cooperation terms. Okay, you know, Afro-Latinas, whatever you want, they're beautiful out here, man. So I don't want to dissuade you from coming out here. You just got to move a certain way. And if you're listening to me right now, you're in the group, listen to the channel, you know, you're getting the game, right? I'm giving you all this information so you know how to move. You can still dress nice. You can have a little nice little watch like this, man, and you shouldn't have any issue. But a Rolex, come on, man. A Rolex, which is like 10 bands or better, could have been 20,000 or better. And these women see it all. They pay attention to detail out here, man. So you got to be really careful about who you surround yourself with, especially when dating women. We had this whole conversation on, I believe it was Tuesday, about safety tips in Medellin. Um, Medellin relatively is still safe, depending on how you move around. Okay, so you guys, especially after June 8th, man, come on out here, man. Chop it up with your boy. Shoot me an email. Let me know when you're coming. If you need somebody to pick you up from the airport, I got guys that can pick you up from the airport. If you need somewhere to stay, I can mention where some places to stay at. So, man, you have a good time. It's a brotherhood out here. You got brothers that own bars. Shout out to my guy at Vibes, Medellin, rooftop on top of Epic Hotel. That's where we'll be mobbing that out. Shout out to the other Rob at Sweet Georgia Cafe. Shout out to my guy out there at Brooklyn. So you got brothers with businesses out here that you guys can come and support. Great food, great vibes, great energy. You can get even more information from other expats or other veteran travelers in these little businesses as well, man. So come out here. Just move a certain way. And just keep in mind that people are always watching. The streets are watching, man. Is Rio safer? No, it's not. It's not. Bati Thug says, can you give us 10 tips on what to do after getting robbed? I think Bati Thug had said something crazy to me not too long ago, but I'll go ahead and answer your question. You can contact the embassy. As long as you got your life, man, that's the main thing. Hopefully your things are insured. If it's some equipment or something like that, maybe it's insured. I don't bring my laptop in none of these little lounges or anything like that. I keep all my important stuff at the crib because a lot of these places, these businesses, and I have no idea why, don't have security. Most of the buildings all have security because I believe it's mandatory to have security. But these businesses don't have security, and I don't know why. I would have security personally because, like I said before, they just hop off these motor controls, they run into the business, and they will rob you. And I don't know why, because in my last apartment building, we had a dude with a sawed-off shotgun who stayed outside all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? He was ready to pull that trigger too. Okay, we got all right. We got 91 in the room. Hit the like button, fellas. We got Asia et La. He says they will build in another ethnicity country than their own or Africa. Smile face, smiley face. Brother, like I said before, you cannot dictate the moves of another grown-ass man, okay? You got brothers that build in Africa. You got brothers that's building in South America. You got brothers building at home. You can't dictate that, man, okay? Brothers going to do what they want to do. They're going to do what they're comfortable at. Medellin is a great city to live in. It's a great city to build in, okay? It's a lot of economic opportunities here. So, you can't, like, I hate when I hear that whole argument that, oh man, why you not building in Africa? Why you not building at home? Listen, man, you build where you want to build. You set your roots at where you want to set your roots at. I'm setting roots here in Medellin, Colombia. That's what I love. It's a beautiful city, and there's a lot of opportunities here. So let brothers do them, okay? Yeah, J. Clyde. Yeah, I'm really lost. Yeah, brother. Hey, shout out to Grego's 712. Yeah, you had came by the spot one time. He says the cat with the start off was looking at me crazy until he saw me with you. Yeah, man. Yeah. He's a cool cat. But Grego, you look kind of crazy, man. You like Korean and black, so he probably trying to figure out what you is. Like, who was that? So yeah, man. All right, here we go. Now I bet he won't come on the show. I see it live. He says there's a reason whites rather employ Africans than African Americans. Okay, brother. He says, bro, you're there mainly for woman. You can say women, you say woman. Well, if I am, that's my decision. You have an issue with that? What am I else supposed to be here for? Okay. It's okay to be a masculine man and go to a country with beautiful women. That's okay. All right. Not for economic. Well, I got some news for you, brother. A lot of brothers own businesses out here as well. All right. If you want to, hey, let me drop a link. Hold on. Let's drop a link. Let's Let's get this cat on the show. Let's get this cat on the show, fellas. I bet he won't come home. Brother, I see you in LA, whatever your name is. Come on the show, man. Come on the show. I'm so tired of hearing that. Shout out to the opinionator. He says, I was standing in front of Hotel Dix when a girl at taxi realized I was visiting. A few minutes later, I saw her make a beeline towards me. I'm like, what the F? Scopolamine retreated. Yeah, man. You gotta keep your senses. That's why I tell brothers not to get too drunk out here, man. You had that sixth sense to knew something wasn't right. Grego, like I said, he ain't gonna come on the show, bro. Grego 712. The hell with those bullying people to go to Africa. People go where they choose to. I don't know why this thing where some brothers feel like they have to dictate what other men do. I don't understand that, because you don't really get that from other groups of men. You peep that? Like an Asian cat can be. It's many Asians out here in Medellin. They can go wherever they want and they won't get shamed by other Asians. You know, white guys can go to Thailand, wherever they want, and they won't get shamed by other white guys. What's this situation where some brothers have this thing where if you're not in America or Africa, you know, you're betraying the race? What's up with that, man? I don't agree with that whatsoever. JX with the $5 super chat says foreigners are being targeted. I've seen Colombians with Rolexes on. This is not about moving correct. We can continue to victim shame. I don't really know what you mean by that statement, brother. I'm pretty sure there are Colombians with Rolexes. All I'm saying is dress down, bro. I'm not sure exactly where you're coming from with that statement there, brother. I don't agree with victim shaming here. I'm just giving you guys what's going on in the news since I live here. Dennis Jean-Pierre. They think we don't like black women, which is not true at all. You have a lot of beautiful Afro-Latinas out here, bro. You know what? We did, Jay Clyde. He says we were sitting at a bar called Donna Su Madre in Pacayeres. He says we just had this discussion on Africa in person and had different views, and the conversation went just fine. We did have that conversation. I think a brother had asked, because I was looking into going to South Africa, and I was asking the brother, has he been to Africa? And the brother had went all throughout Africa, all down the west, Nigeria, Ghana, everything, and he wasn't a big fan of Africa. I'm just going to be honest with you. He wasn't a big fan. He doesn't like Africa, and this brother is from Atlanta. He's from my city. But that's his opinion. I'm still going to go to Africa because shout out to No Excuse Entertainment. He loves South Africa. So it really depends on, you know, what you like as a man. And it's okay to like what you like, bro, you know, without having to be shamed by somebody. Shout out to Ray Hunter. I have a meeting in a few minutes. Yes, I do. All right. Shout out to Ray Hunter. Thanks for the information, brother BNC. We don't like all the fake shit. Okay, brother. All right, Citizen Louis, you a trip, bro. He says, Passport Heavy went all around the world and didn't get robbed until he went to Africa. Check him out. He talking about Jabril with Passport Heavy. Yeah, he got robbed in Johannesburg. And truth be told, I know cats that go to Africa, man, they get shipped down at the airport quite a bit. Yes, but I see at LA, you won't come on the show, brother. So talking points don't matter. All right, fellas, I got a meeting I got to attend. Hope you got some information to do a quick little recap. June 8th, no take of the equator, no restrictions. Hold on, I'm gonna let you talk in a minute, Rubber Band Man. Let me get a review and recap real quick. No PCR test needed. Everything is back open. Make sure you be careful, be aware of your surroundings, and watch your back. Okay, hold on. Y'all gonna let me? Hold on. Let me add Randall to the stream and Rubber Band Man to the stream. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
Hey man, what's up, man? Hey, cuz I ain't gonna stay on long, man. Doing fine, bro.
Brother.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna stay on long because I gotta get ready to go to work. Look, man, I'm tired of seeing these cats hate on brothers traveling. It's okay, so a black man that joined the military, the Navy, and go travel to see countries overseas. You know what I'm saying? So brother hated people. I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on, man. Y'all got to stop this, man. I mean, y'all got to. All this thing is just divide and conquer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all sound like BW. You know what I'm saying? Agents of BW.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man. If a black man want to travel and see what's out there, the reason why brothers are traveling because brothers are getting tired of being beat down in this country, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the brothers want to take a minute to clear their mind. Sometimes, man, you got to clear your mind. You might have to step off into another country for a little while, man. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you hate your people. It's just the situation here, like we said Sunday. The system here is not designed for you. All right, I don't care what you say. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If something happens, man, in this country, man, a black man can build wealth and prosperity, and a BW or some female can divorce him and take half, and she didn't contribute nothing to the system. She gets half. Okay, you getting beat down in politics. You know what I'm saying? They're garbage. You know what I'm saying? They're telling you that. They're telling you every day. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no vote, but this past election, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just the thought of black men. Okay, put this. Donald Trump got 20% of the black male vote in the first election he won. He got 20%. All right, and the Democrats were so scared that would dump to 40 that they pulled every trick in the book. You know, called you everything instead of asking you, "Hey, black man, you know what I'm saying? How can we earn your vote back?" Because y'all not voting, you're looking at other. Instead of doing that, they called you everything but a child of God. So I'm saying, so what if black? And plus, too, man, you got immigrants coming here, building business in the United States. So what? So brothers are leaving and do the same thing they doing. There's brothers in Panama with businesses, brothers in Costa Rica with businesses. You got brothers teaching college classes in Latin America, Africa. So what if they want to do it?
Bro, you barking out a little bit, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and close you.
Stop hating. You know what I'm saying? You
Appreciate that, bro. Hey, Rubber
sorry,
Bang, man. You barking out a little bit too bad, man. But I'm gonna do another show later on, man. We can connect on that. You made some good points. All right, brothers. I'm gonna continue this maybe later on this evening or tomorrow because he made some very valid points. He was barking out a little too bad. Yeah, brothers are doing what the immigrants are doing in America. They coming over here. They're utilizing their American dollar. They're taking 10,000 US and they turn it into how many millions is that? That's like 30 million in pesos. They're opening up businesses, all right? They're buying more crypto because their living expenses are lower. You can get a nice apartment in a nice area for $500-$600 a month. You don't have to pay $2,000 a month for an apartment like this, like in New York or Manhattan or even Atlanta right now. So brothers are making moves, man. We're applying the exact same thing that immigrants have been doing for the last 50, 60 years in America, okay? Without any help from the American government. All we're doing is tapping into the American credit system. And you have a lot of successful brothers out here, all right? A lot of successful brothers out here. Let me catch this last super chat, and we're going to roll on out, fellas. Biscuit 205 at $9.99 super chat. Game sales are the big losers. Long live SYSBM. Shout out to you, brother. Gary Mack with the $9.99 super chat. He says, my anger management counselor and my psychologist said I am doing better since I traveled. So my advice is to get out of America sometimes. Very good point, man. Very, very good point. Very good point. So, brothers, I appreciate you joining me, man. We're going to do this again either this evening or tomorrow. Peace out.